All right, let's go on to talk about zipping your yips. Who here gets the yips when they speak? Who knows what the yips are in the sports world? Who can give you a yip definition? Anybody heard the term? It's mostly used in golf.
Pushing your putts.
Sorry?
Pushing your putts.
Pushing your putts?
Yes.
No, I don't know what that means. And we have to start over. What does pushing your putts mean?
If you're pulling off at the end, missing a par putt,
Yeah.
because you're nervous.
And you just do this?
Yeah,
I do that in golf all the time. Your yips is basically an all-purpose term. It means when you're good at doing something and then you just can't. You're used to swinging a bat, you've been doing it since you were 5 years old, whatever, and then just suddenly you can't swing it. It just doesn't feel right.
Well, kind of like Bobby Valentine.
Kind of like Bobby Valentine's experience, that's right. So that happens in speaking too, and I bet you've all experienced it. Who's ever experienced any kind of just negative anxiety, pressure, butterflies, anything like that? Not only when you spoke, but when you didn't even thought about speaking. Yeah? Come on, seriously, everybody's hand should go. Christopher, I know you've had this before. All right, well, let's talk about exactly why that happens. We're going to start to break this down. First, I did a little research, and it turns out that fear of speaking is pretty common. How common do you think it is? This is one list, but they all say pretty much the same thing. Where do you think public speaking ranks on the list of the 10 most common fears? Number one, number two. Who thinks it's higher than 2? I heard 3?
I said it in the top 3.
In the top 3? Okay, so we have 1, 2, and in the top 3. Who thinks it's outside of that? You want to see? All right, here's the list. Number 10. Coming in at number 10. On the list of 10 most common fears Americans have is dogs. Wild applause. Loneliness. Flying. Death. Let's stop there for a second. Death is 7. I really feel bad. Every time I do this list, I feel badly for death, because I just think when you're deaf, you spend all your time trying to make people scared of you, and you finally see yourself on a list, and there are 6 things people are more scared of than you. All right, anyway, number 6, sickness. Number 5, deep water. Number 4, money problems. Number 3, insects and bugs. Number 2, how are you feeling about your choice, Steve? Good?
I'm sad for all those things.
Number 2, heights. And the number 1 most common fear among Americans, according to the Book of Lists, public speaking. Now, I'm fascinated by this list every time I do it, because the bottom 9 things are things that can actually kill you, directly or indirectly, right? Or can lead to severe harm. No one, as far as I know, in the history of time has ever died from talking. And yet talking beats them all. Talking beats death by 6 places. That means, as Jerry Seinfeld once said, and by the way, no relation, that means that if you're at a funeral, you'd rather be in the casket than delivering the eulogy. What is this? Can somebody make sense of this list for me? Why does public speaking beat all of them?
Exposure. You're putting yourself in front of the group.
We're going to dig into why, but for the moment, I want you to see this as an opportunity. Public speaking is the single most feared activity in the country. More feared than ever. People would rather be poor than... So I want you to see that as an opportunity. When you can do something well that the people around you either can't do well or don't want to do, you have a tremendous opportunity to make yourself valuable. A tremendous opportunity. So let's talk about how you can do that better. First, what are the specific factors that make you freak out when you speak? What is it, when you sort of dissect it, is there something specific that scares you?
Tripping over your tongue or losing your path.
Tripping over your tongue, losing your path. We've done it all. Yes. Who agrees with that? Show of hands. Who else is bothered by that? Good. What else we got? Steve has another. Cool.
Unexpected question.
Oh, you're demonstrating the ahs and the ums. The dreaded, I can't remember my name right now. What was I going to say? Yeah, absolutely. What else?
The
Yes.
thought of not getting the response that you're hoping to get from your audience.
Oh, yeah. If you're in a one-on-one conversation, you feel comfortable. But what if you're talking to a large group and you say something you think is profound and you hear crickets and coughing on the other side? All right, one more. Christopher?
Wardrobe failure.
Wardrobe. Christopher's got a story. Talk to me, Christopher.
Yeah, and more than once.
Really? Christopher, stop wearing those pants.
The pants didn't fall down, but the fly was down.
Was it really?
So I was talking to people, and I'm sure all they heard was blah, 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 my fly is down. Blah, 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 my fly is down.
Boy, it's a humbling process, isn't it? Presentations now when you stand up for coffee in a little while, and everyone's going to be staring at your crotch.